Oh, E-Drags. Gaku with E-Dragons. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Team Elektros taking on Zeus, also formerly known as Navi. Now let's see what is going to be made of in this war. We have got 12 throwers, not 13. So we're using a baby dragon for the funnel. Here come the throwers over at the 6 o'clock side of the base right here as well. We have got the life gem, raid gem on top of the throwers, queen with the giant and the mirror, snakes and spiky on the king as well, royal champion, electro boots and rocket spears. So log launcher in behind with these throwers. Queen is going on into this queen compartment solo, and we use a totem to tank right there, which is really nice because the queen otherwise would have gone down very quickly. King on the right hand side right here as well, just to push on forward and try to get a little bit more value for the funnel right there. We're going to be sending the royal champion with the king eventually, but we need to drop a totem in front of this bomb hive bomb so that the RC doesn't get too much damage done on top of her right there. Warden is very low. Oh no, Warden goes down. Oh, okay, this could be a problem. With the red gem no longer active for the Grand Warden, the Grand Warden goes down. Now we're gonna see a big issue with these throwers, and the issue is gonna be that they're gonna absolutely disintegrate right here because the red gem isn't gonna be able to heal, help the healers heal the troops right there, which is gonna be a big problem. We'll be able to secure up the town hall, but now there's going to be way too much firepower on the back end from these defenses for the throwers to power on through. The most key factor of this attack is that you have got to keep your Grand Warden alive at all costs, no matter what. And once the Grand Warden goes down, this attack has a massive pullback. There's going to be a lot of damage reduction from the throwers. There's going to be a lot of healing reduction from the healers, and these defenses are going to overpower the defensive capabilities of those healers. So this is exactly what you're gonna see right here. But then again, even with the warden going on down, the throwers are still relatively strong by themselves, but unfortunately they're gonna be way weaker, and like they're not gonna be as quick either. And we're gonna see a very big drop off for them. And as you can see, what this base would have been smashed with the throwers if they were in the core with the red gem, now everything completely disintegrated. We've got a couple more of those throwers left, but they're not going to make it too much. The monolith is going to be able to pick them off, and that's going to end up at a very low percent 2-star. So this is something that you do have to keep in mind when using these throwers. If the Grand Warden dies, honestly, just force close your game, because at that point, there's nothing that can be done. This was a nice try. It's at 70% right here. Might not be able to get the 71% because the mortar's going to kill off the archer. Nice try by Diego. Here we have it, man. Yatta is incoming using... Oh, okay. He's got the heroic torch on the Warden for this one. Coming on in with the Queen Warden charge. So let's see how this one is going to work. How for those meteor golems is opting not to use the throwers right here, which is very interesting for sure. Now let's see how he's going to be able to get the job done. Of course, the angry jelly on top of this queen right here. She has got the mirror and the giant on top of that. Also sending the queen. Okay, this was really nice and controlled, man. Allowing this queen to go in, pick off the expo, pick off this fire spirit and the poison tower as well is going to be absolutely huge. The angry jelly will go down, but it's not a problem whatsoever. We can always use one more invis, but I don't think it's going to be needed right here. Get that poison tower down. This is actually a crazy funnel. Oh my god, he's still going. Wait, what the hell? Now he ends up recalling. Look at the value that he got with that Queen Warden right there, man. Very nicely done for sure. Here comes that super wall breaker to give up the accessibility for the town hall. King on the outside right here to push on and make sure that all of these meteor golems go to the inside. Troop launcher has been deployed over at the 3 o'clock side behind these meteor golems to ensure that they push their way in towards this base. Queen is going to be able to pick off that long shot very easily. Meteor golems latch onto this town hall. They'll be able to finish that one off relatively quickly as well. King beating on that wall is actually not the worst thing he could have done. Invis on the royal champion on the top side, since the enemy RC locked onto her right there as well. She locks back onto the enemy RC, may have to force her ability with the invisibility spell. Here comes the heroic torch ability, allowing these meteor golems to push on through the walls right there, which is going to be absolutely perfect. Of course, they're stalled up with the ice golems, but again, this heroic torch is very good, man. Overgrowth from the recall, the scatter, the recall, the revenge tower, the scatter and the air defense, also catching the air sweeper in. But This heroic torch is giving the opening for these meteor golems to push on through the base. Royal Champion is still also alive. The scatter is being tanked by those meteor golems right there, so the RC will be able to, almost was able to pick that one up. Unfortunately, fell just a tiny bit short right here, but 3 freezers, 1 more totem spell remaining. Here comes the first totem for the Revenge Tower. Now the Meteor Golems are on top of that Revenge Tower. Here come the freezers to keep the Minion Prince, the King, and also that Revenge Tower frozen right here. Here comes that second freeze on it as well. The Giant is going into that compartment, will be able to assist the troops in taking it down. Here comes the third and final freeze on top of those heroes. We have sent 1 Headhunter in. He will do some damage to the Minion Prince, but will get taken down. King does go down. Queen is at full HP, which is really nice. The only scary defense right now is the the multi-gear tower, which is going to be able to shred that giant. The Queen needs to pick off this Minion Prince, which she does do perfectly right there. Now, will she get distracted by the skellies? Oh my god, she got distracted by the skellies, so that means that the multi-gear is going to be able to pick her up, but we run out of time. Holy, I didn't even realize. And that is going to be a very nice try from Miyato. Here we go. The King is being deployed over at the 3 o'clock side. We're using the Quakes right here to activate not activate, but do damage to the Bomb Hive, the Poison Tower, the Revenge Tower. Log Launchers coming on in. A Skelly to tank from the King over at the 3 o'clock side. Queen with the Skelly for the 12 o'clock section right there. Log Launcher is pushing its way through. Should hopefully be able to pick up this Revenge Tower. If it can't, it's going to be an issue, but it does do that perfectly well. Takes down that Poison Tower as well. Absolutely amazing work at the moment from Van from Team Elektros. Is sending the Royal Champion to support the Barbarian King. Queen ability pops at the top side as well. Needs to use maybe a totem to tank for that Monolith to keep the Queen alive a little bit longer. Now goes down that Bomb Hive, which is absolutely perfect. Can also use a totem for the Royal Champion in this compartment, as she can get a lot of value as well for him, which will be absolutely perfect. Now look at these throwers, man. When they're utilized correctly, they absolutely demolish everything in their path, and this is exactly what they're doing. They're absolutely coasting through this base, no issue whatsoever. Once this multi-inferno goes down on these 2 builder huts, we're gonna see these throwers break open a wall, and they're gonna have accessibility to absolutely everything. Look at this Royal Champion Barbarian King, cleared everything from the 3 to 6 o'clock section of the base. Down goes that long shot right here. Throwers are still alive and kicking. 2 more super barbs remaining, just for what, a little bit of cleanup right there. Eventually, bro, how is this RC still alive? Oh my god, it finally goes down. The Warden is still alive, but wait, he's lost a lot of throwers right here. This is crazy. Only 1 thrower remaining. I spoke too soon, I believe, because it looks like the throwers are not going to be able to get the job done. Did Kazuma's base hold the 13 thrower spam, which is absolutely crazy? The Grand Warden is about to not go down from the Monolith. He dips out of the way right there. The healers latch onto that Warden, and this now is gonna be unfortunate, because those healers are gonna end up going on down to the air skellies. The Warden's gonna end up getting distracted by them. He's gonna end up going on down, and that is gonna be a defense again coming on in from Zeus. This attack looked very, very strong at the early stages, but unfortunately fizzled out towards the end because of that Monolith compartment. The Bomb Hive did a fair bit of damage, but again, very, very unfortunate for them. And it was a nice try for sure, but did not be able to get that 3-star, which they really, really needed. Alright, here we go. Oh, E-Drags. Gaku with E-Dragons. Dude, is this going to be a thumbnail? Pause. Just a second. Let's see. Gaku incoming. Queen Siege Barracks over at the 9 o'clock side of the base right here. Minion Prince leading the charge, has got the Phoenix Meteor stuff on the Minion Prince as well. E-Dragons coming on in from the 10 o'clock side to push all the way down onto the base. We have got the King reinforcing that Queen, who does have the box on him as well. Minion Prince has got that Dark Orb ability, which could be amazing through the middle, especially if it faces the right way. We can catch that Revenge Tower, which will be amazing, but it depends on how he wants to use it. Has got a bunch of totem spells that he can use. E-Dragons are shredding this core right here. We freeze on the Revenge Tower, still holding on to that Minion Prince ability. Now goes up, catches the recoil cannon on the back end. Queen ability has gone off. We decide to use a totem right there just to try to get that Monolith down with the Queen. Using a second one, use a couple of rocket loose to pick off the monolith right there. E-Dragons are working really nicely. This air defense on the back end could be a bit of a problem, but we have a lot of troops still remaining. We have got the Warden, the Minion Prince as well, who has got that Phoenix ability if needed. Super Minions are picking off all of the defenses at the bottom side alongside the assistance of the Queen, and it looks like Gaku is going to be coming on in with those E-Dragons. He's going to get the job done. He is going to pick up the 3-star. Has got the little troll Tesla at the 6 o'clock side, but more than enough firepower to get the job done, and Gaku comes on in for the first 3-star of the war right there with E-Dragon, getting the job done and dominates OP stuff. Here we go, MMG Isma now joining up with Team Elektros, coming on in with those 15 throwers. Log launcher going in for the town hall right here as well. These throwers are looking very strong at the moment. In this meta, they've been dominating everything. King on one side from the 12 o'clock section, Queen over the 2 o'clock side, using a Skelly to tank for that recoil cannon right there also. Now here comes that log launcher pushing its way in. We need to kind of tank for the long shot right there, but the long launcher does end up going down. Super Valk, Super Yeti out of there as well, just for that additional raid spell from the Valk, which is going to be very nice. King does find a lot of damage at the top side using the RC ability with the Frost Flake right there. Does come in clutch also. So that's looking really good. Now we have got these totems that we need to utilize perfectly. Need to move this fire spitter away from that royal champion. We're using the totems at the bottom side to make sure that this queen is a bit safe. Maybe using one more. Actually, never mind. The Expo will be able to go down relatively easily. We have got 6 more totems remaining. This is looking very strong at the moment, but we need to use it for the fire spirit and potentially for the royal champion as well. Perfectly placed totem for the RC. Queen Pop's ability, she'll be able to pick off that monolith and the multi-gear tower right here. Royal champion goes down on the enemy defense right there. The multi-inferno and also the fire spirit do go down. Also plenty of throwers still remaining. Queen is still alive. The action figure taking down 2 defenses through the wall with that splash damage is absolutely perfect right here. And this is looking like Team Elektros are going to be coming on in. They're going to answer right on back with a 3-star of their own against Zeus, formerly known as Navi, and this is going to be a triple on the board for them. Oh wait, hold up just a minute. He had heroic torch and raid gem. Hold up just a minute. He used the heroic torch right there to allow these throwers to push on through the wall. That was interesting. Though he had the life gem, but uses the heroic torch with the throwers, and they actually get the job done even quicker. Nicely done by Isma. Oh, he's coming on in with E-Dragons. Okay, so Ryuta in with E-Dragons again. Oh, and now we're gonna dominate with E-Dragons. That could be amazing to see. So he wants to get this multi-gear down with the fire spitter. With the flame flinger, he wants the multi-gear tower down. Can potentially take out these 2 mortars to get a little bit more value, but the ground exports are going to cause him a little bit of issue to get really too much more value right there, which is a bit unfortunate. But that flame flinger value alone is very strong. Using now a couple of minions on the outer buildings just to create an early bit of a funnel, because we know E-Dragons are very quick when it comes to, you know, powering through bases, which is not an issue. So, you know, making a cheap funnel with 2 housing space, a troop with the minions right there, so nothing can really target them because of these mortars, so minions were the better option. It's gonna set off a nice early cheap funnel as the flame flinger is working right there and taking down the top side of the base, which is going to be nice. We have got those E-Dragons that will be coming on in relatively shortly. Now uses a oh bro, that was amazing, right? Even though it's very simple, it's really nice to see that he ends up using a totem to tank for both mortars, so that he can use the flame flinger to work even more. Now here comes that E-Dragon from the 10 to around about 11 o'clock side of the base, using those totems to tank nice and early right there. A raid spell for the right side of those E-Dragons. Unfortunately, the Warden only catches a few from the right side, but they're pushing on forward. They're going to hopefully be able to get down that multi-inferno. Overgrowth on the bomb hive on the back end right here, whilst the E-Dragons push down on towards this fire spitter at around about the 7 o'clock side of the base. Heroes are working in from the 6 o'clock side with the King and also the Archer Queen right here. King has the snakes and the spiky ball, which the spiky ball finally goes off, lands on top of the monolith. We have got the Queen with the action figure as well as the magic mirror. E-Dragons shred this entire core. Overgrowth will be wearing off any second now, using that totem right there perfectly to distract all these remaining troops. Oh my god, that minion prince ability was absolutely amazing. not taking down, but slowing down all of these defenses, which means the Dragon Riders are going to be able to pick off the air defense on the back end. Queen finally pops her ability, and look at this, man. Ryuta is coming on in with another 3-star right here for Navi with those E-Dragons taking down Isma's base so nicely, using those E-Dragons perfectly with the Flame Flinger was absolutely phenomenal to see. And Zeus, aka formerly known as Navi, come in with their second tripper. Ryuta is OP, man. Eltano is in with the Queen Warden charge in from the 12 o'clock side of the base right here, trying to get down this export. The nice thing about this, you can reach the monolith, you can reach the multi-arch tower also, which is looking really strong at the moment. Needs to keep this Queen invis right here, cannot be very frugal right here with those invises. Needs to make sure that this Queen does stay protected from the monolith of all things. The bugger's tanking right there. They lock onto the minion prince. Actually, you know what, it's a little bit of bonus damage right there, picking off that minion prince. We're using a totem instead of invis because we didn't have any more invises left, so the totem is actually perfect right there, helps to take down the monolith. Very nice kind of readjustment right there from Eltano. Once his gold storage down as well, takes it down, gets that recall in. Absolutely wonderful work from Eltano. Now here comes a Meteor Golem, and the remaining Meteor Golems are down as well from the top side of the base in around about the 2 o'clock side. King over at the 3 o'clock section, so we want the Meteor Golem to step into this multi-gear tower. We quake over that bomb hive because the log launcher is gonna be the main culprit. Try to take down the bomb hive with those logs right there as well. Warden is under a little bit of damage, needs to use the totem to tank for that bomb hive, which would be very nice. Has got an overgrowth that he needs to use sooner rather than later, potentially on this left hand side fire spitter to reduce the damage on top of his Meteor Golem, but being very patient with the overgrowth. Finally it does come down, takes down that fire spitter, which does do a lot of damage right there. Meteor Golems did fizzle on out in the middle of the base, which is looking a little bit scary at the moment for Eltano. Queen ability is gonna most likely be forced in just a second, manually pops it right there as well. Super Yeti will be able to pick off the long shot. Now we want this Warden to lock onto the Town Hall, but he locks on to the Royal Champion. Now everything is avoiding this Town Hall, which is a little bit scary. May have to save a Super Barb or something to try to pick off this Town Hall, because the bugger is not going to be able to do enough. Electro Boots will do a little bit of damage right there to the Town Hall, but it's not going to be enough for Team Elektros. And is this going to be the issue of the war right here? This 1-star is going to be absolutely detrimental to them having a chance to win this war right here, with Zeus getting those 2 triples. We did see a triple from Team Elektros. They needed this to be a 3-star, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to work out right here. And this is most likely going to be a defense right there coming on in from Yata of Zeus. Down goes that Queen, and there's no chance remaining, and this is going to end up at a 85% 1-star. Here we go. Kazuma is in, using a wizard for the mortar. Now sending in the Warden with the Queen. Oh my god, Kazuma, that is a lot of damage on your Queen. Need to be a little bit better. Using a totem right there to distract the monolith, will be able to take it down. Unfortunately we find a couple of skellies, but it's not going to be an issue right here. There is going to be a lot of damage on this Queen, so the invisibility spells are going to be absolutely clutch right here to get the job done. Locks onto that recoil cannon, will be able to pick it off relatively easily. We're lowering out the skellies with that wizard, which is actually going to help so much with this little Queen. We should most likely, if the Queen goes back up, we can allow her to walk just a little bit more right here. We still have 3 invisibility spells, do not mistake it. So we can take down the Expo. We're going to allow this Queen to walk a little bit more. We end up using, oh hell no, we've got this fireball on the bomb hive. Let's go. Kazuma takes down the entire core. Now this is exactly what we want to see. Archers on the top side just to create that funnel to try to take down the the army comp right there. Here come those Meteor Golems. So had that Queen Warden charge with the fireball to clear out this entire middle of the base, man. Very beautifully done by Kazuma so far. Now the remainder of the troops are pushing on in from the top side. They have a small narrow path to travel down, so it doesn't really need too much funneling on the outside. Still uses the king just to reinforce just a little bit, but it's looking very good at the moment for sure. Has got that Royal Champion for support as well. The Bugger's working on that fire spitter, which is going to be amazing. They do end up taking it down. Log launcher opened up all the way in towards this town hall compartment. The king steps to the inside of the base. Royal champion is yet to be deployed. We're deciding where we want to deploy, potentially to take down the fire spitter on the back end of the base. The warden is about to go down though, which is a little unfortunate. We still have that king and queen ability. RC ability pop instantaneously right there, just to make sure that this fire spitter does go down, so it reduces the damage off of all of these troops. Is absolutely perfect. King ability still in pocket. Queen ability can go off at any moment right here. Royal champion is gonna go down. I'm surprised he didn't end up using a totem to tank. We do have the Phoenix on the RC, so she will be able to get a little bit more added value. We did use that king ability right there. We have got one more headhunter that we can use for cleanup over on the storages and the army camp right there. Queen ability is going to be able to come in clutch, and now it's all down to time. It's not about the firepower, because he definitely has enough firepower to get the job done. The main issue most likely is going to be this elixir storage right here, because everything's going to most likely path away from it. But the queen is breaking a good wall right there. Unfortunately, this king not going to the outside could be a little bit problematic right there. The tornado trap is going to stall everything up, and this is going to be, oh my god, don't tell me it's going to be a 99% 2-star coming on in from Zeus. No, it's a 98% 2-star for Kazuma. TE Al-Mu'alin now coming on in for Team Elektros. Has got 8 sneaky goblins in this army. Has got those E-Dragons as well, so it could be very interesting to see how these E-Dragons end up working on out for Al-Mu'alin right there. Let's check it out. We have got the Flame Flinger working over at this 9 o'clock side of the base right here. Now we're setting up a little bit of a funnel with the sneaky goblins over at this 3 o'clock compartment. So we want the king and the queen, or is it just the queen? It's just the queen because we don't have a king. So we want the queen to come on in. We're using those headhunters to pick off the opposing king, and we want this queen to pick off this revenge tower on the back end, which could actually be very, very huge. We have got the mirror. Oh, brother. Oh my god, he had a fireball for his warden, but he came in with a fireball without the fireball plan. Oh my god, he came in with a fireball plan without the fireball equipment. Are you kidding me? Al-Mu'alin, now what are you going to do right here? You need to recover, and this is going to be a big problem for you. Team Elektros needed this 3-star more than anything in the world, especially after that 1-star that they just experienced. So will he be able to kind of recover? It's going to be very difficult in esports mode, because the fireball would have cleared this whole compartment, which would have been incredible for him. But the giant does technically get the value that the fireball would have got, minus the scar shot. So can he somehow still manage to salvage something from this attack? I'm sure he hopefully will be able to pick off this 2-star right here, using the other earthquake over on the top side for the royal champion to help tank some damage right there, as well as do damage to those defenses, so the RC can pick it off relatively quickly right there. E-Dragons coming on over in towards the monolith. We have got those super minions coming on out of the flame flinger right there as well. Town hall should be able to get secured with the poison on top of this opposing archer queen right here also. But unfortunately, if the fireball was to work right there, invis on those E-Dragons, maybe we could have seen a 3-star, but unfortunately without the fireball, this is gonna be an issue coming on in from Team Elektros. Very unfortunate for them, but they did try their best to get the job done. Unfortunately, coming on in with the fireball plan without a fireball definitely offsets an attacker, and that's exactly what he did to Al-Mu'alin, but manages to still pick off the 88% 2-star. So a very amazing recovery. Unfortunately, with the swag of the fireball equipment, wasn't able to get the triple, but this was a very thought out plan. Unfortunately, a little bit of a mistake with the equipment, otherwise it would have been the 3. Zeus with the final attack. We've got the not the captain, sorry, Gak was the captain. We got stars incoming right here with 9 throwers. Okay, so he has got the heroic torch. Okay, so the heroic torch is equipped to the Grand Warden on this one, not using the life gem and the red gem, just the red gem and the heroic torch right here to try to get the job done, using a cheap funnel with the Grand Warden. That with the red spell and the healers, very nicely done. Is going to set off a great funnel for these throwers. Is he going to be coming in through the town hall? Looks like he will, because the log launcher will pick off this bomb hive, and it should open up the back end wall, like that corner piece, for the throwers to access the CC and the revenge tower. But it needs to be a little bit careful with the warden, with the arch tower and the long shot right here. So has to be a little bit prudent. Of course, we don't need to worry about stars, man. He's Mr. Consistent himself, you know, potentially the best Legends League attacker. Never mind, he's coming opposite. Brother, no way he's going to finish on this Town Hall, right? There's absolutely no way. Oh, he's got the zaps. I completely missed the zap. So he zaps over the poison tower right there. Also getting the multi and I believe an air sweeper. So he has set a very, very nice pathing for these throwers that potentially like wrap around the base. But we could also see the king and queen coming on in from this top side with the log launcher to kind of spread everything open right there as well. Or the log launcher could come in from here also. So there's a lot of variations that he can do right now, especially with this entry point of the throwers. We have got a minion working over at the 9 o'clock side of the base. Grand Warden is being a little bit annoying right here. He's in range of the bomb hive, which is so annoying with the splash damage from those bombs. Every time they hit the totem, it is going to do damage to this Grand Warden. Being very patient. There comes that queen right there from the top side, from the 12 o'clock section. Now we have those throwers going on in. Healer's taking a little bit of damage. We need them to move. One of it is locked onto the Grand Warden. Oh, oh my god, the Grand Warden survives with the heroic torch right there. Fantastic. We did use that totem in time. Oh my god, this monolith is locked onto the Grand Warden again. Are you kidding me? Dude, the monolith has an agenda against that Grand Warden. I'm telling you, bro, it did not want to leave him alone. Log launcher coming on in directly from that 12 o'clock side, opening up accessibility towards this Revenge Tower compartment. We have got the Ice Hound in the CC, which could be a problem right here for Navi. Oh my god, the Grand Warden goes down, the Ice Hound stores everything up, Revenge Tower's picking everything up one by one. We have got that Queen ability. Not the Queen ability, sorry, the King ability with the... Oh, the King has got the Rage Vial and also the Giant Bone. The RC comes on in from that Town Hall side right there, trying to get a little bit more value, potentially trying to save the 2-star, but it doesn't look like that is going to be happening. We have got one thrower still alive with all the healers attached to him, and this is where things get a little bit dicey because the long shot is going to be the real issue. If the long shot was not alive right here, the headhunter would have been able to pick off the Town Hall, but unfortunately right there, the long shot is going to cause a problem on stars. With the final hit is gonna 1-star, man. That's super unfortunate. It was a nice war right there. 11 stars to 10 from Navi, but it honestly does not show the whole. It doesn't show the whole war right there, as we did see triples from each side. A great war, some fantastic attacks. Unfortunately, just wasn't enough.